All right. Hi, everybody. Hi again. I'm going to wait for a few people to rejoin us. Sorry if you were here right at 3 o'clock. All sorts of crazy things are happening right now. I just moved and then the rain stopped. So I'm playing tag with Mother Nature right now. But if you're with us, give me a thumbs up so you can hear me, so I know you can hear me. And so I know that I am actually broadcasting out into the world and not just sitting here talking to myself, sheltered from the rain. Today, if you didn't know, we're doing a... Thanks, Steve. Yes, changing location on the fly. We are doing a craft. Woohoo! It's Monday. And maybe you can see that I, too, Angie, the state park interpreter, am affected by the Mondays, a good case of the Mondays sometimes. So thanks everyone for being here and for following along. I'm gonna have soggy supplies, but that's okay. I think it'll still work. So if you're just joining us, to give you a little background, I was just about 5 feet from where I'm sitting right now, and then it started raining, so I had to move and restart. So that's why we're a couple minutes late. But welcome and happy Monday, happy MPA Monday. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Angie, and I am the Marine Protected Area Interpreter for the North Coast Redwoods District of California State Parks. Say that 5 times fast. And today and every day, we do live streams on our Facebook page, and today I'm just gonna try it out and double post it on our Instagram, so I'm actually live on both platforms right now, which is pretty fun. And we are doing a craft project today because I know that a lot of people are inside at home hanging out, and I know that when I am at my house, one of my favorite things to do is do a craft. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's for adults and kids alike, or just kids in grown-up bodies like me. So we are making this really fun thing called a marine protected area in a jar. So sorry for the glare, but we've got some fish, some kelp, some sand, some invertebrates on our rocky reef environment. So while we make this super fun craft, if you're wondering why would I want to make that, it's a really great pencil holder. You can put stuff in it on your desk, or it's just fun to look at if you don't have an aquarium at home. This can be your makeshift aquarium. So MPA in a jar. Here we go. Take 2. Okay, so the things that you're gonna need are a jar and some rice or some salt or some dirt or some gravel or whatever you have to act as sand. You're also gonna want some colored construction paper. So I have some here. Mine is now a little bit damp from the rain, but you know, we're gonna make do with what we got. And you're gonna need some scissors, some glue, whatever kind you have, hot glue, stick glue, Elmer's glue, and a marker or pen or whatever you have. Okay, this is my first time doing a craft how-to, so bear with me. All right, so we're gonna start by putting our sand in our jar. So sandy bottom environments are one of the 6 key habitat types in California that are protected in our marine protected areas. So we're gonna put some sand in here because our MPAs in a jar are probably gonna have up to 3 different key habitat types in them. One of them being sandy bottom environments. So put your sand in your jar. Now go ahead and grab your blue craft paper. I've already cut mine, but you're gonna want to kind of measure it so that the blue isn't kind of sticking out the top of your jar. When you're basically gonna roll this up, what would that be? Hamburger style. Stick it in there, and that's gonna be your backdrop, okay? So you want it to be kind of flush at the top. And I'll go ahead and dissect the example so you can see what it's gonna look like. So here we have our example. Da, 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 da. Make sense? Whoa, someone's watching from Australia. Very cool. I lived in Australia for a short time. One of the best 6 months of my life. Loved it there. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so now that your blue paper has been cut to size, we are going to create some of our diverse marine life that lives in marine protected areas that can include fish, invertebrates like urchins or abalone or, oh man, so many things, mussels, clams, whatever you like, as well as some algae, some kelp. And marine protected areas also protect cultural resources, which is super neat. So that's why I put some sunken treasure on my little MPA. So if you have any little knickknacks around your house that look like treasure, you can put those on there as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and tilt the camera down just a bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Give me a moment, please. During this intermission, feel free to grab yourself all the supplies you need. Okay, here we go. Maybe. This is the uncut version of living the park's life, my friends. All right, maybe. All right, so I'm gonna have you kind of looking down so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I've got my paper here, and I already have a couple things pre-cut out, so I'll put those here, but I'll go ahead and walk you through how to create some kelp first. So I just used my scissors to cut some out, but you can also maybe draw some if you're maybe not so agile with the scissors, like this, and cut it out with your scissors. I'd really like to know if there's anybody out here that's actually doing this with me. So tell me if you are, that would be awesome. But if not, and you're just watching me craft, that's probably pretty soothing as well. So thanks for being here nonetheless. So I've cut out some kelp that's going to contribute to our kelp forest. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Kelp. That just ripped in half, but I have some other examples here. And we're going to use our glue now, hi everyone, to glue it onto our paper. Pretty self-explanatory. You probably could have guessed that that's what I was going to do. But really, when it comes to your MPA in a jar, you can include whatever your heart desires, because this is your creation. So let's see. Okay, now we're steady. So go ahead and put some glue on your kelp. And we're going to glue it onto our blue. Some marine protected areas have dense kelp forests, and because of the sort of reduced stress that's on these marine habitats, it's very likely that kelp forests are potentially thriving better in our marine protected areas than in a non-protected area. So we want to put some kelp in there. Nice healthy algae is a good sort of base for a healthy ecosystem. So we want to have lots of healthy kelp, healthy kelpie in our MPA. Alrighty, so we've just added our little kelp forest. Awesome work, everybody. Now, I think a really important part of every MPA is having some fish, and not just any fish. If you've been watching for a couple of weeks on our live streams, you will know that the mascot of marine protected areas is called the big old fertile female fish. And they, as they grow older and bigger, these certain types of rockfish, they have exponentially more babies. So in our marine protected area, we're gonna have some big fish who help populate the ocean, help populate the MPA, but also the surrounding waters. So I've just put my little fish there. You can use any color you like, any detail you like. I'm also going to create just like I did on this one, a little rocky reef environment. So where the sand meets some underwater boulders or sort of rocky environments, these are perfect places for tons of colorful invertebrates to live. Rockfish are called rockfish because they really like to hang out by rocks. So these are great environments for tons of different types of animals, and you can really see like a rainbow of life around a rocky reef. So we're going to create a rocky reef. I would grab another color of construction paper and just cut out like a rocky shape. There's mine. And I'm going to glue it onto my MPA. If anybody has questions for me, questions about MPAs, if you need some color advice, let me know. I'm here for you. All right. I've glued on my rocky reef, and maybe if you have some paints, colored pencils, any kind of colors, you might want to add some colors onto there. Maybe add some different animals like urchins. There's lots of urchins in California, almost too many at this point. Maybe sea stars like this little one I have right here. An easy way to do this is to draw a star on a piece of paper and then cut it out. Yeah, let's do that. So put some glue on that guy. Now we have our rocky reef environment. And like I said before, marine protected areas don't just protect natural resources like fish and kelp and their homes and their environments, but they also protect cultural resources sometimes, which can mean human items that have ended up in the ocean that have cultural significance of some kind. So I have this little gem that I found, weird knick-knack thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that on. Another thing to note is that natural resources can also be cultural resources. So, you know, people have been using our marine environment for sustenance and for commodity since time immemorial. And so those cultural traditions oftentimes are also protected in our MPAs. We actually have tribal exemptions in some of our marine protected areas. So the people that have been practicing sustainably harvesting from the ocean since the beginning of time are still able to do that, which is really awesome. So check that out. If you live near an MPA, find out if there's any tribes that are exempt from those take regulations. All right, so we're starting to see some diversity here. I'm going to add some more fish, but I mean, you guys get how this is going. It's your art project, so you can really add whatever you like. I'm gonna glue on some more fish. I'm gonna adjust my view so you guys can see what I'm doing. Here we go. What else do we want to add? I have a little cork. This could maybe be like a sunken treasure chest. Maybe somebody out there is like a master painter and they're just painting an underwater masterpiece right now. I'm gonna actually create some diverse species of fish, which is also common in MPAs. Not only in marine protected areas do we have generally more fish, like more numbers of them, but we also have more diversity. So that variety of life, biodiversity. So I'm gonna make some pink fish in addition to my orange fish. If anybody has MPA questions, shoot them my way. All right, so I generally just cut out my fish freehand, but again, you can also draw them first and then cut them out so they look really perfect. I'm gonna add my pink fish, maybe swim in the other direction. Thanks everybody who's stuck with me. It's been a funny day, but I always find it very therapeutic to do some crafts, especially on rainy days like today. I'm curious what the weather is like where everybody else is. It's been pretty rainy here the last few days. Of course, during this time of COVID-19, Many of our parks are closed, and we understand that can be difficult, especially for those of you who want to visit your parks right now. But I really appreciate everybody doing their part to flatten the curve, staying at home, getting crafty at home, thinking of fun things to do from their homes so that we can all keep ourselves and our community safe. Here at state parks, we are doing our due diligence in washing our hands, sanitizing our equipment, making sure that we're wearing masks and social distancing, physical distancing. So we are right there with you. And we hope that by doing these live streams, you still feel connected to these special places, to your parks. And we hope that these little trinkets, maybe like the one you're making today, will remind you of the beautiful place that we get to live, both on land and underwater. Alrighty, my friends. So let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I went ahead and drew with just a marker a little sea urchin. And maybe you want to draw some little cup corals or colored little specks on your reef. Because really when you're looking at a rocky reef in a marine protected area especially, it's almost like you're flying above this miniature rainbow of life underwater. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. We're doing a craft for MPA Monday if you've just joined us. Let's see. Somebody asked on Facebook, is sea glass protected? That is a really great question. And it's a little bit difficult to answer. So there's types of marine protected areas where you're not allowed to take anything. So any part of the habitat, any type of animal, and those are called state marine reserves. And they are conveniently usually in the color red, which means like stop, like a stop sign. And so those marine protected areas are places where you don't want to take anything, generally living or non-living, out of the environment. But in general, I would say if you ever find trash or litter or something that just doesn't belong in an MPA, you are doing your duty as a steward to the coast and the ocean by picking up things that maybe are human-made that don't belong in MPAs. So I'm not sure if sea glass falls into the litter category or the natural or cultural resource category. Probably depends who you talk to. All right. I would say if you find some sea glass by a reserve, it's a man-made thing that doesn't naturally occur there, so you're okay taking it home with you. All right, my friends, so I have created my template for my MPA in a jar. I'm gonna add some cute little faces to my fish because fish do have cute little faces. You can be as realistic or as cartoon-like as you wish. Here's my 2 MPA in a jar examples. And I'd love to see, if you're following along and you're doing this, it would literally bring me the most joy today if you posted a photo after this so I can see what you made. Okay, now's the fun part. What you're going to do is carefully roll your underwater scene this way, or what I earlier called hot dog style. And you are going to carefully kind of shimmy it into your jar. I have this cork here, which is a little bit cumbersome, but we'll see how it goes. And then you're just kind of gonna shimmy it down into the sand here. Maybe wiggle it around, and voila, you have your very own marine protected area in a jar that has cultural resources, has a kelp forest, has a sandy bottom environment, and has a rocky reef environment. So you have 3 of the 6 key habitat types in California's MPAs, all in this jar. And of course, marine protected areas in real life don't have walls or borders or fences that keep the animals in. Animals don't know whether or not they're in or out of the MPA at any given time. So they sort of have invisible boundaries that you need to use a map to be able to see. So it's kind of convenient that our jar is see-through glass, sort of invisible in a sense. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. It was fun for me. Thanks for tuning in and sticking with me if you were there at the beginning and you got rained on. But I would just want to say thanks everybody for your support right now. And I hope that this little craft gave you something fun to do inside. Maybe it's rainy like it is here wherever you are. And I know I'll be keeping mine on my desk for a little pencil holder to keep all my treasures in, just like we keep all of our marine treasures in our MPAs. So share a photo, and we like to use the hashtag PortsFanArt, P-O-R-T-S, fan art, to share the artwork from our programs. So check it out. Can't wait to see what you have created, and I hope everybody has a lovely day. Happy MPA Monday. Get out to the coast and explore your MPAs as soon as you can to do so safely. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye.